Welcome, time travelers, and welcome, new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning about history, one event at a time, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1653 when England's Rump Parliament was dissolved by Oliver Cromwell and later replaced with the Nomination Bourbon's Parliament, which was dissolved in the same year, leading to the declaration of the Prostrate. Now, 8 years after the turn of the 19th century, in 1805, Napoleon III, President of the Second Republic, from 1850 to 1852, and Emperor of France from 1870, was born in Paris. Now, in 1840, a French symbolist painter, Ordon Redon, was born in Bordeaux. 1870 brought us Japan's first government operating postal service, opened between Tokyo and Osaka. Now let's make a stop in 1912 for the sports fans out there, when Navin Field, later called Tiger Stadium in Detroit, and Fenway Park in Boston officially opened, as both hosted their first professional baseball games. Tiger Stadium closed in 1999, leaving Fenway as the oldest baseball stadium in Major League Baseball. 2 years later, in 1914, when striking miners and their families in Ludlow, Colorado, were attacked by the state's National Guard and company guards, 25 people were killed, including 11 children, and the massacre resulted in a bloody retaliation by other miners. Moving on to 1919, when an ongoing dispute over possession of Vanna's Polish forces drove out Russia's Red Army, which led previously ousted and the newly established Lithuanian government, and occupied the city. The following year, in 1920, U.S. Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens was born in Chicago. 4 years later, in 1924, finalizing the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire, Turkey's Grand National Assembly voted to adopt a full republican constitution, with General Mustafa Kemal, who was the first proclaimed the Turkish Republic about 6 months earlier, became the first president of the republic. 1949 is when American actress Jessica Lange, who is known for her versatility and intelligent performances, was born. Now, see, I did not realize that she is turning at 75. I thought she was actually a lot younger than that, because if you are a fan of American Horror Story, you know that every season that she's in, it's a good season. I don't know if it's her versatility or like how she acts or what that makes it a good season. Anyway, moving on to 1968, Pierre Elliott Trudeau of the Liberty Party became Prime Minister of Canada. In that post, he discouraged the French separatist movement, oversaw the formation of a new construction, and established relations with China. 1998 brought us two disgruntled and heavily armed students entering Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, and murdered 13 people before killing themselves. And I'm actually thinking that this event actually is what started schools from doing the active shooter drills. That and so many others. Because I remember after like 98, us in school doing an active shooter drill. 2006 is when Seminish mine near Kimberley, SAF, the small mining company, Nair Diamonds, which has been in operation for only 3 weeks, discovered a 235-carat diamond. The mine had been closed 3 years earlier. In 2008, American race car driver Danica Patrick won the IndyCar 300, becoming the first woman to win an IndyCar championship event. On this day in 2010, an explosion occurred in Deepwater Horizon oil rig located in the Gulf of Mexico, some 41 miles or 66 kilometers off the coast of Louisiana, leading to the largest oil spill in history. And finally, 3 years ago in 2021, Derek Chauvin, a former police officer, was found guilty of killing George Floyd, an unarmed African American man whose neck he knelt on while attempting to arrest him in 2020. Floyd's death caused massive protests against police brutality and brought renowned attention to the Black Lives Matter movement. And finally, that brings us to 2024 and our current history. Until next time.